Hi guys, welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to talk about gastric emptying studies. As you'll be aware, which I wasn't aware until about a week before my appointment, I was referred for a gastric emptying study and I got a letter a week ago telling me that I needed to go on Friday, just gone. So I went for my gastric emptying study on Friday and it was not as bad as I thought it was going to be honest. It was a long day. I'm not going to lie, it was a really, really long day. I was expecting to be put on some sort of day unit where there was a day room where you could watch TV, talk to other people, and none of that. My nuclear medicine department, unfortunately at my local hospital, is in the ultrasound department near X-ray, and they don't have much room for waiting around because obviously they've got people waiting for ultrasound as well. While I was waiting to actually be taken in for my gastric emptying study to start, I got asked 4 times whether I was there for ultrasound because the waiting room is the same area. They have about 4 chairs in there, so there's not very much room, and I was in my wheelchair, so I wasn't expecting to be where I was. So I only took my mobile phone with me. Wish I'd have took stuff with me to keep me occupied, if I'm honest. I was informed by letter that, I was to have scans over the course of 4 hours. But if obviously they see a fast emptying or my stomach was emptying normally, that I didn't have to be there for the whole duration of that, but to be expected to be there for up to 4 hours. I went in at 11:45 and I had 2 pieces of partially stale bread with, I know, appetizing, right? With 2 little single sachets of butter to spread on it, and I had one egg that was scrambled in a bowl with a small beaker of water. I had 3 nurses all sitting there watching me eat. I was told I had to eat at least 1 piece of bread and the egg, but if I could eat both pieces of bread, then that would be even better. So I did what I could. I basically forced the second piece down, but I couldn't get it all down. I started going, I think they kind of saw that I was starting to go a bit green towards the end of the first, like the second piece. So they just turned to me and was like, have you eaten your eggs yet? And I was like, yeah, I've eaten the egg. But I'm really struggling to get this piece of bread down. They were like, don't worry about it. You've eaten the 1 piece already and you've eaten like over 3/4, like not even over 3/4, just under 3/4, sorry, of the bread. So of the second piece. So I was like, okay. So they scanned me after I'd eaten, which was roughly around 11:10. It took me about 20 minutes to eat my food because I had to eat slowly, and I wasn't feeling very well anyway. So my first advice to you is don't worry about how long it takes you to eat, but obviously the sooner you eat, the sooner they can scan and get the ball rolling on your gastric emptying study. But do take your time with it. Please don't rush it, because the more you rush it, the more sick you'll feel. I felt like I was rushing it. Normally a meal like that, it would take me over an hour to eat, so I technically was rushing it. It took me 20 minutes. And I had my first scan at 11:10 because as soon as you've eaten, they have to see how much is in your stomach as soon as you've eaten, and how it's transiting down into your stomach. And then they'll scan you again half an hour later. So I got scanned again at 11:20. I then got scanned again at 12:10. So you basically have 3 scans within the first hour. The first one to obviously see like whether it's in your stomach and how it's transited into your stomach. The second one to see where it is half an hour after you've eaten, and the third one to see where it is an hour after you've eaten. With me, there was no change. It was literally all at the bottom of my actual stomach within the hour. So I was like, okay, that's fine. So she was like, okay, come back at 1:10. 1:10, and we'll scan you again. So I was like, okay. So I went back at 1:10, and she said, we'll tell you on this scan whether you need to come back whether you need to come back for your 3 hour after eating scan. So I was like, okay. So anyway, it goes in. This is 2 hours after eating at 1:10, and they told me, yep, you're definitely going to have to come back for your 3 hour marker after eating, because there hasn't been much change. You've still got at least 95% of the food still left in your stomach. And this was 2 hours after eating. So I goes back off again. I decided to choose to go, as I said, I didn't want to wait in the ultrasound department area, because obviously it's quite a small area and I didn't want to be constantly asked, am I here for ultrasound? So I decided to pick up a pew outside the shop in the main entrance area of the hospital behind the outpatients check-in desk, because it was the best place for me to park up my wheelchair, which was maintaining a lot of 2 meter distance rule with everybody that was sitting in near the shop. So it was better for me. And I was sat there with my mask on pretty much the whole day, which is never good, but you know, that's how it was. So I was sat there. That's where I picked to choose. I went back again at 2:10, 3 hours after eating, and I got told, you could see the kind of looks on the nurses' faces, like, you know, okay, this is like really kind of weird. And she said to me, can you go and wait outside in the ultrasound waiting area? She said, just for a minute. She said, because we need to assess exactly how much is left in your stomach, just so that we can see if you need to come back for your 4 hour after eating scan. She said, because there's still a bit left in your stomach. So I was like, yeah, that's fine. So I went outside. I didn't go go straight down the corridor into where I was waiting originally. Again, I waited in the ultrasound area, and within 2 minutes she came out and she was like, we're going to have you to come back for your 4 hour after eating scan. And I just said, why? And she said, well, because you've still got just over 50% of the food content still left in your stomach, and we need to ideally see 95% empty, or you have to come back for your 4 hour scan. And I was like, okay. So I went off again back to my usual spot behind the outpatients check-in desk, and I went back again at 3:10 for my final scan. I had the scan and I asked the nurses as I was leaving, I said, is my stomach empty yet, or is it near empty yet? And I kind of got that, I'm going to do what they basically did to me. They kind of went, it's getting there. But it's really up to the doctor to determine how delayed you actually are, and how, you know, what they want to do about it. So I was like, okay, fine. I was still feeling really sick. I had a lot of pain in my stomach. So I knew there was still food there. I don't know by how much. Obviously, it has to be 10% or more to be classed as being quite bad delay, I guess. I'm presuming I had probably more than 10%. I don't know. I don't get my result yet. I'm expected to get the results sometime this week, possibly next. But when I get it, you guys will get it. So I will let you guys know how I get on. But if there's any advice I could give to anyone who's waiting for one, please don't worry about it. Take your time eating the food. If you can't stomach the egg and the bread, then please let them know, and they will give you, I think it's a porridge that they give you. I didn't take the porridge because it doesn't actually go down my throat. Porridge, it kind of sticks, especially if it's like a hospital porridge, which is more like glue or wallpaper paste or something, which obviously it would have to be quite thick, because it has to be more like a food consistency rather than a liquid, because liquids and foods do empty differently in your stomach. So I decided to stick with the egg. But if you can't stomach egg, or you're allergic to eggs, or you have a particular intolerance to them, or you're vegan or whatever, you can go for the porridge option. And take your time with it. Like, don't feel like you're rushed or pressured into eating it really fast. I kind of ate mine as fast as I possibly could, just because of the fact that I had 3 nurses watching me eat, and I just felt awkward. But if you're not bothered about that type of thing, then, you know, just take your time with it. But like I said, the sooner you eat and the sooner you get whatever down you, the quicker it is for you to get your scans started and finished so you can get home. Obviously, your length of time will still be 4 hours if you're going to be there for the full duration, but make sure you take something to occupy you, take somebody with you to sit with you so that you can talk to them and pass the time. but it is really nothing to worry about. The scan is painless. It doesn't hurt. You basically just between like it, almost like a machine that does a chest x-ray, but you're between two of them. There's one behind you, one in front of you, so they can see the front and back of your actual stomach. And yeah, just it doesn't hurt. It's you stood there for 2 minutes while they x-ray you. Some hospitals have you lay down. Mine had me stood up. And it's very, very simple. So it's nothing to worry about, but it is very long-winded and boring. Just the waiting around is just havoc. But as long as you've got something to occupy your mind, you'll be fine. So if you've got any questions, please message me below, or you can DM me on my Instagram. They're always open, so feel free to ask any questions. I will let you guys know when I get the result. It should be within this next week or next week after that. But I will definitely vlog and let you guys know what my gastric emptying results are. I already knew that I had gastroparesis from a barium swallow, but it was classed as mild this time last year. So I was expecting some form of delay, but I wasn't expecting to be told at 3-hour point that I had over 50% of food left in my stomach. I was only expecting to be told like maybe 30 or 40%, not over 50. So I don't know what my result is completely. We have already been in talks with the dietitian with regarding what we can do to get more nutrition into me. And she's basically said on her point of view, there's nothing really that she could do. She's going to recommend NJ tubes to try that with me to see if that's any better, especially with the fluid intake and everything else as well. She's going to see whether the GI doctor wants to try that. And obviously I said that he would probably want to wait and see what the gastric emptying study said. And once we get the result of that and he's liaised with her and find out exactly what's going on, then we'll hopefully have a plan put in place and I can let you guys know. But I will be back on shortly. I have another MRI scan coming up for my mediastinal mass to see whether it's grown anymore, and it started growing again, or even if they can tell me exactly what it is this time. So I've got that coming up. But I will be coming on at some point because I've promised my Instagram followers a vlog followed by a Christmas song. So I will come on at some point and talk about something and then sing, I think, Silent Night one. So I'll be singing a bit of Silent Night to you guys. So if you want to see that, please press the subscribe button and the little bell and you'll be notified when I come back on, especially with the results of the gastric emptying study as well. And if you've liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. And like I said, if you would like to subscribe, I'd be very, very grateful. And I hope you guys are taking it easy and taking care and staying safe. Thank you so much, you guys, for your support as well. It means so, so much. And I will see you again soon. Take care. Bye.